Hey, hi everyone, welcome back. So, guys, as part of this session, we are gonna talk about a class. A class is a blueprint from where the individual objects are got created. And of course, an object is an instance to this particular class. So, Surendra, what exactly this class is? I didn't understand. So, let us consider a simple example. The example here is an exam application form. Assume that I'm studying in a college. Okay. So probably consider that I'm studying in an engineering college. Okay. So I'm just studying here in an engineering college. Okay, perfect. In this particular college, there are multiple branches are there. ECE, Triple E, and mechanical. Consider that these are the three branches that we have in this engineering college. If you consider the exam application form, okay, the exam application form, it will be common for all the branches. It's not like EC is having a separate form, Triple E is having a separate form, Mechanical is having a separate form, nothing like that. All the branches does have a same application form and a person, and in that application form basically there is a branch. Next to the branch there are a multiple checkboxes for all these branches. You just need to check that particular checkbox, right? So here the point is the application form for the exam for all the branches is a common, which we call it as a blueprint. Okay, which we call it as a blueprint. Okay, that's the blueprint. Okay, with this blueprint itself, anyone within the college can fill the form, can fill the exam application form. See, is it possible for you to fill or to submit the exam application form without having the form? See, basically, it's not possible for me to submit it, right? If I have the form, then only I do have that information, right? So consider that we have a Ramesh, we have a Suresh. Okay, Ramesh, Suresh, and Sneha. Consider that we have these three people. So, Ramesh, if he filled that a common application form with his own data as of now, this form contains specific information about Ramesh itself. Right, guys? Earlier, it was a blueprint. Earlier, before Ramesh filled the form, it was a blueprint. But whenever Ramesh filled the form, this contains a specific information about Ramesh itself. Hence, we call it as an object. See, the point here is the blueprint. We call it as a class, and the specific person details we call it as an object. Okay, we call it as an object basically. Without a blueprint, no one can fill the form. The same way, without a class, you can't create any object, right? So you are going to create an object to the class to access that information. The same way, we are taking that particular blueprint form and we are filling with our own information as per the table content in that particular form. This is all about the class and as well as an object. So class is a blueprint. That's perfectly all right. Then, Surendra, you have also mentioned that class contains properties, methods, constructors. What are all these things? So, let us talk about properties. So, properties, we are calling it as a variables. Whatever the variables that we are defining, those variables, we call it as a properties. Then, what about the methods? Whatever the functions we are creating outside the class, we call them as a functions. And whatever the functions that you are creating within that particular class, you treat them as a methods. Okay, both are one and the same. A reusable kind of a logic would be created, whether it is a function or it is a method. The point here is the functions would be defined outside the class and the methods would be defined within that particular class itself. That's fine. So what I have done right now is I have created a simple TS file, and if you look at the syntax for this particular class, so class space name, open bracket, closer the bracket and body. Okay, that's what the thing they have defined. So class okay, class student info. I was just creating a class with a name as a student information. Okay, student information. I'm creating a class with a name as a student information. I just had an open bracket and a closed bracket. Okay, and a minute before, what I told you here is, okay, what I told you here is about a method. If we define a function within a class, we call it as a okay, we call it as a method. Okay, if you look at it here, we call it as a method. Okay, we call it as a method. So here, what I'm gonna do right now here is, okay, I just wanna have one small method. Okay, I just wanna have one small method. Maybe print data. Okay, print data is my method. And it's not gonna return anything, hence I am using a void there. And here, what I am doing as part of this particular one, I'm defining console.log. This method is inside this particular class. Perfectly all right. I have defined it. Okay, this is a syntactical issue, right? This is what you just need to specify. Okay, print data. Perfectly all right. So I have created a class, and inside the class there is a method print data. How can you access that information? See, if you see, guys, the class is starting here at this line number 1. Observe the color basically, and it's ending at line number 10. The data print data method is starting at line number 6 and it is ending at line number 8. That's fine. And outside of this particular class, I want to access the information present in a class. Ideally, in order to access, okay, in order to access the information present in the class, we need to create an object to the class. Okay, we need to create an object to the class. The class syntax, or the sorry, the object syntax is let name is equal to new keyword followed by that particular class for which you are creating an object. So the new is the keyword. Okay, so the new is the keyword which is playing a vital role here. Okay, which is playing a vital role here. Okay, perfectly all right. So let's come back to my code. Let, okay, data is equal to, I'm creating an object to new student information, and with this object, I'm accessing the information present in this particular class. So here, with the object, we are able to access the methods and properties present within that class. Okay, whatever the information is there as part of that particular class, you can access that information using this particular object. Perfectly all right. So what we have done right now here in this particular case, we created an object to that class, and using that object instance, you are able to call the information print data. Let me try to run this particular program and check it out here. See, this is the method inside the class got a printed down to the console. So this is the way how exactly we can define, okay, how exactly we can define a class, and we can define, okay, we can define a method inside a class, how to create an object to that class and access that information. This is all about the basic information. In the next session, we will be seeing what is a constructor, how exactly you can define, okay, variables within this particular class, how to access those variables, all those things we will be looking at as part of the next session, guys. Thank you.